This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the best website for building websites. More on that later. This right here is a Polarizer skateboard, and this is not a gimmick in any way. This is actually an old school skateboard that a lot of people are really interested in. I bought this board from a company called The Heated Wheel, and this is the package where the trucks and the wheels and the bearings and the hardware all come in. The board itself is 6 inches wide, and it's either flat or it's negative concave. So a lot of people will turn their boards upside down and cut it down to size. The first thing I noticed about the wheels is that they're not as wide as I thought they would be, and they're definitely very square. The first thing I actually saw of this board were the trucks, and I was just gonna get the trucks and play with them, and then I realized there's this whole other subculture within skateboarding about Polarizer skateboards. Look at the trucks. They're so tiny, like compared to my head. The brand of the bearings is Phase Caster, which I assume is just a brand under the umbrella of the Heated Wheel. And the hardware is just normal size. It's 7/8 inch, and it comes with an Allen tool because it sort of has that old school feel. I actually feel like this board does have a little bit of concave, am I wrong? And a lot of the boards that people make themselves, the nose and the tail go the opposite direction. So this actually has a bit of a nose and a bit of a tail. I think they're trying to appeal at least to a slightly wider audience, which I really don't think they need to, because on this skateboard forum, usually a thread has maybe 1 or 2 pages. There are 20 pages of people talking about this, well, Polarizer skateboards. I thought I had found the perfect place to actually ride this. I was very excited, but I forgot it rained last night. So this entire Griffith Park, whatever this is called, is completely filled with water. I also haven't done a kickflip in like 2 weeks, so let's do one of those first. That was horrible. Ooh, I'll take it. All right, let's go for this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get everything I need to know about this board on the first takeoff. So right when I throw down. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, oh my gosh, okay. Here's the thing. I can already tell that if you can get the hang of this, it's gonna be extra fun because you can turn so much more than a normal skateboard. But it's a little scary because you don't know how much to turn before it actually catches you and throws you off. But it feels really responsive. Like the trucks themselves, they don't feel like just loose for the sake of loose. It feels like it's like getting loose right when you need it. I like the feeling, so let's just get a couple cruises. I also found like a couple paragraphs of just straight rules for how to go about this board, and I'll read that after I get my little sesh. Ow! If I go slow enough and turn right, I can actually make this turn, which I could never do with a normal skateboard. I wanna see how sharp I can turn, and if I lean back, and at what point does it actually slip out if I'm going too fast and I try to turn too much of an angle. Woo! That feels so cool. Oh, that feels cool. It turns so quick. This is definitely a great board for someone who doesn't want to learn tricks and just wants to learn how to cruise in a stylish way. Woo! Okay, it actually started sliding out the back wheels. That's so fun. Today I felt like a skateboarder. I haven't been out and about like this in a while. It's been over 2 weeks since I've even stepped on my skateboard because my life has gotten unbelievably hectic. My wife is gonna make a YouTube video about all this stuff, and then I will talk about it on my channel, but needless to say, it's been the most intense year I've ever had so far. But let's read the rules of a Polarizer skateboard. And now a word from our sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace has Fluid Engine, so essentially a drag and drop system, so you don't need to know anything about design, plus they have award-winning templates you can choose from, so you can just start easily. They also have amazing analytics, and they have blogging tools as well, so if you're a writer, bada bing, bada boom. Also with the analytics, it shows you what's performing well, what's selling well, and helps you utilize your online business. Squarespace also has email campaigns, which a lot of creators are switching over to that as their main social media, because whoever subscribes gets your notification no matter what, and I really need to get on that. The last two features are my favorite. The first one is now they have a third-party site that will actually fulfill whatever order you want to make on your store. So if you want to sell t-shirts, all you have to do is design the shirt, and then they'll handle everything else, the fulfillment, and the design is easy, of course. So it's like anyone can build a store now, which is really cool. And the last thing, if you're someone who has a specialty and you want to create a course, you can do that just through their site now. So now they're putting everything on their site, and every time there's a third-party plug that becomes really popular, Squarespace adds it on as well. So if you want to sign up, click the link in the description down below to get 10% off your first purchase or domain, or go to squarespace.com/JohnHill. Check it out. I've been using it since before they even sponsored me. It's amazing. And enjoy the rest of the video. This is from the Slap message board, and I don't want to read the name just in case they don't want it to be shared, but you can go there if you want to see the whole conversation. To anyone generally unfamiliar with the concept of the Polarizer, Polarizer is technically the name of the board sold from the Heated Wheel, which is the board that I bought. Some cult factions of the community believe that Polarizer is also the person who makes the board, and that you're not a Polarizer and the board is not a Polarizer until you've put together the board with a set of specific parameters. So technically, in that case, this would not be a Polarizer skateboard because this is built by a company and delivered to people, not built by the hands of each individual who rides them. Those parameters include acquiring/making your own deck and riding it upside down, bone Swiss bearings, new low durometer wheels, contested, cut up roller skate trucks or sure grip vintage skate trucks. I assume by contested it means that this is debatable. Mounting said trucks of your own volition with a large wheelbase, and then also contested using wood/sheet metal screws to mount the trucks. I think this exists to mirror what people did back in the day when certain elements of the skateboard didn't exist, like the hardware and other things, like the trucks. Like all niche subgroups, the rules can get pedantic and silly to a beginner or outside observer. With most things precious to people in these types of groups, there's a significant amount of gatekeeping. Oh gosh. And it's not without merit, because we all know that too much exposure can suck the life out of something pure. You see, there is a bit of skate philosophy behind the making of this board. It's not a gimmick or a trend. The board was made to tap into a part of skateboarding that can get lost as new generations come up in a world of Instagram clips, do a kickflip, Olympic exposure, etc. I think this is fair. I think every new generation feels an essence of gatekeeping. I think even myself, someone who's all like, let everyone have fun with the skateboard. I mean, there are things I see all the time in skateboarding where I'm like, ugh. But I think a lot of people felt that way about all the people who came into skateboarding through Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, which I am one of those kids. I mean, it brought in so many skaters, and people thought a video game, popular culture brought you into this niche subculture. Whack. Think of the idea of the soul surfer. It's not far off of an idea in that skateboarding's roots are that of the sidewalk surfboard. A Polarizer is the modern version of the sidewalk skateboard. It's the original idea of skateboarding with modern technology. Right now, we are seeing every type of culture bleed into what skateboarding is. So back in the day, it felt like skateboarding was a surf subculture. It felt like this essence of surfing, beach, and that's actually sort of what attracted me to it. But now, every culture you find in any genre, there are skaters that sort of match that environment. You'll find the skateboarders that are really into nerdy subcultures, you'll find the surfer skateboards, and you'll also find the skateboarders who are into all the popular things. I mean, skateboarding's popular now, so makes sense. When people ride one for the first time, it feels fucking weird and scary because you're both regressing and progressing, if that makes sense. I get it. I've been skateboarding for 23 years though, and to me it just felt fun. It didn't feel like I was good at it, but it felt very, very fun. It's a way, in my opinion, to relearn how to skate. You have to learn to turn, to carve, to flow, or else it won't work. Yeah, I didn't really figure those things out well. I tried my best, but it would obviously take days for me to look like really good on this board, I think. You have to retrain your muscle memory to commit to deeper carves. You have to go fast. You have to actually skate. I think anything on a skateboard is skating. I don't think it has to just be like fast pushing and turning and carving like a surfboard. I think doing tricks and all that stuff is also skating because you're skating. I think it's well said. I think it might be surprising that I am somewhat of an old soul within skateboarding. I actually love the nostalgic culture of it. And also with this skateboard, it's a brand created by Neil Blender. And I've always sort of, he grew up before my time, but I've always loved him just because of this clip.
Sunshine into this gloomy day.
I really wish more skateboarders would skate contests like that. Personally, I'm not a fan of contests in general, anything that's competitive. Skateboarding is a sport, and a lot of skateboarders want to be classified as athletes nowadays, and I think that's totally fine, but I live on the opposite side of that. I am not an athlete, I feel like I'm a creative person who moves my body a lot, and that's fun. And since I didn't see any rules about not doing flip tricks, it's skateboarding as well, so even if there were rules meant to be broken, I'm gonna try to do an ollie and a kickflip, and a shove it, and a tray flip, and a 900. Ollie. Good start. The tail is too short to hit the ground. See? I got an inch, I'm gonna keep it. Let's see if a shove it's a little easier. I knew that was gonna happen so much. First try. Sweet. Honestly, it kind of flips like a penny board, but it feels 1,000 times better. That'll work. Wow, it goes up so high. Whoa, that's kind of confusing. You gotta really not flick it to get it to not flip too much. There we go. I'm not actually thinking about how to do it better. My body is just slowly conditioning each try. It just feels cool, I don't know. Oh, we got this. Ah. There we go. That one was pretty hard. Notice how I didn't even pop my tail? You can't, it's too small. Yay! Before I close the video, I want to say a major thank you to anyone out there who bought my first children's book that I released in the last video. We sold out really quickly, and if you are one of the people who bought, one of the first 100 books that I made, you're gonna have the only copy of that specific book. So I'm gonna get a restock of more copies, but there's actually something in the book that I'm gonna change. So if you have one of the original 100, you're gonna have one of the original 100 books that I ever make in my life, and I feel like that's gonna be a cool thing, hopefully a cool memorabilia to keep. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for watching this video about the Polarizer skateboard. Tune in every Tuesday for a new video on this channel. I'm still uploading weekly, even though I cannot wait to tell you what's been going on in my life. It has been a lot, and to be able to pump out videos every week still makes me very, very happy and proud, and shows that I really have a love for doing this. I really have a love for skateboarding that will never go away. Even if I do want to explore new avenues, at least one time a week, I'm gonna get out there and ride something and have some fun. And I crave skateboarding all the time. I still watch skate videos all the time. But you gotta try new things in life as well. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it.